Hello, podcast listeners, and thank you for tuning in to Extracting Wisdom, the podcast that helps you prevent the decay of your future. Today's episode is going to be a continuation of last week's Dental Student Roundtable featuring Grady, Gores, friend Bechtel, and Tyler Tolbert. But before we get into that, I want to take a few minutes to talk to you about the Voices of Dentistry Podcast Summit that will be taking place on January 24th and 25th in Scottsdale, Arizona, at the Hilton Resort and Villas. Guys, this is a meeting I've been dying to go to ever since it started, and I remember listening to podcasters talking about this event in undergrad and how upset I was that I couldn't make it. But now, I finally get to go to the 4th annual Voices of Dentistry as a podcaster. So why should you be coming to this event? This year's speaker lineup is going to be absolutely incredible. All of your favorite podcasters will be there too. And that is the biggest part of this event. You will have the chance to network and meet your favorite podcast hosts and hopefully be on a couple podcasts yourself. And who doesn't want to be in sunny Scottsdale during January? It is going to be an absolute blast. Now, the majority of you who are listening are probably dental students, so I want to make a point to tell you that there is a student discount. Dentists pay about $1,000 to be at this event, but students pay $325, and that is almost a 70% discount. Now, sure, $325 may seem like a lot, but what you're going to get out of this event is far more than what you will pay to get here. Sign up for Voices of Dentistry 2020 at www.voicesofdentistry.com. Book your flight to Phoenix, your room, and your registration, and you will be all set. Don't wait too long, though, to sign up because spots are going fast. I can't wait to see all of you there. Now, one more thing before we get into this episode. If you have not listened to episode 40, which is the first part of this episode, I strongly urge you to go back and take a listen to that, and then come back and take a listen to this episode. All right, guys, enjoy the show.
You are now listening to Extracting Wisdom. Here to help you prevent the decay of your future is your host, Brandon Everett.
For sure.
Yeah, it's all about working smarter, not harder, right? So if you can, attend a fun CE event, and not only learn but make connections and meet all the top dogs in dentistry, like the Voices of Dentistry coming up in January.
I'll hook y'all up.
Yeah, I wanted to throw that in there though, because I think most of us are going, right, or planning on going, because that's
I'm there. Yeah, I'm trying to go.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome event.
Yeah, maybe there, maybe.
But again, perks of being a dental student, like the admission price for dentists, I think is $997 right now, so like $1,000.
Yeah.
And dental students, it's about $300, so it's like a 70% discount for dental students. So why wouldn't you take advantage of that?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's some, if you have other commitments or whatever, but if you can make the time, you should definitely go.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I've had dentists tell me, maybe not directly, but I've heard it many times, like online and stuff, where dentists are like, oh, you're in dental school. There's so much for you to learn, so much for you to do. Worry about CE when you get out. Like that's what it's for. It's continuing education, like after you're done. And I respect that opinion. I understand where it's coming from, but I think it's categorically wrong. Like I think the time to go to CE is when you're a student. When you're not having to take off work to do it, when you're not losing income and production because you're having to shut down the office. Yeah, exactly. And figuring out, what time is it more crucial for you to figure out what you're trying to do eventually than while you're still in school? And I think a lot of students have this idea that CE isn't accessible to us, and that is also totally untrue. Like I have a running tally of how much money I have saved in student discounts or from knowing whoever is running the CE course, and they're just like, oh, you're a student? Like I've never had a student before. Just come. Like I'll, or maybe just pay at cost. And I have a tally of it. And I don't even tell people the number because it would make them angry, I think. Because it is a lot of money. I'm talking tuition type money that you can save as a student if you really take advantage of that. I could renew my license for 10 years if this stuff rolled over. And I'm not necessarily a better dental student for it. I probably am. I'm not better than other people.
Yeah,
but
you are. I'm going to say it. You are.
Well, okay. But I can only really say that I'm better than I would have been had I not done that. and that should be enough. You know what I mean? Like that's all that matters. It's not about, being a big shot and posting on Facebook, which I do, about like all the CE. It's just about being the best version of yourself and taking advantage of all the opportunities you have. And so many people, so many students are just so blind to how many opportunities they could have. And I know if they really understood it, they'd hop right on it. And so that's why I'm glad there are shows like this to give them the word.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's I cut out there for a bit. Are we still on CE or are we jumping onto podcast?
Yeah, well, we're still talking about CE.
Okay, just making sure.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Oh, I mean, don't get me on a soapbox, but I think it's been one of the best things, honestly, for me, like for mental health. It's such a refresher to get out there and see that, this is what it's like after dental school, and that's not just, I'm not just talking about clinical, because I've been to some and I've heard of some CEs where you get there and there's a bunch of negative, there's a lot of negative vibes, but the business ones I've been to where there's been such optimism and excitement about what our field could be and what it is, there's so much, it's such a refreshing drink of water after the drawn out bureaucratic dental school. So there's that side. And then have any of you guys heard of the book, Never Eat Alone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's, is that Simon Sinek or not?
No.
I've seen no, it's not. I'm thinking of Leaders Eat Last.
Yes, that's another really good one. I read the Spark Note version. I'll be honest. Full disclosure, I haven't read the whole thing.
I don't read full books anymore. Wait.
Oh my gosh.
I can't judge you.
But
my
gosh. Last thing I'll say on that is that, I firmly believe your success is directly correlated to the relationships you build. That's why I'm so happy to be friends with y'all. Y'all are lifting me up the ladder. But that's one of those things that can give you, if you allow it to. You network at those events. I mean, it's given not everything, but it's given me a huge amount in dentistry. It's how I became part of a podcast group. It's how I got, was blessed to be able to help host the Life in Dentistry conference. It's reap dividends going to these CE courses that dental school would never have done. So I can't say enough for people out there. It don't matter if it costs you $500, $1,000, get your butt to some CE and it should change your life.
Yeah. And Tyler and I kind of talked about this last time we had him on about attending CE, and like you would think by going to a CE course, you would feel almost more burned out. It's just more dentistry on top of dentistry, but it has like the complete opposite effect. Like you're there, you become so much more motivated as a student now to go back and kind of apply what you've learned and just kind of understand that, I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
But that gives you a ton of energy.
Right. Ton of energy, and let's just kind of revitalizes you now to just go and attack, dental school. Cause kind of what is waiting for you at the finish line once you graduate.
Yeah. On CE, Tyler, I know you've done some of it, and I think Brandon, you have too. Implant pathway. I'm curious about your guys' take on that. That's one thing. Like I definitely want to get some implant CE before I graduate. Yeah. But I'm curious what you guys have to say about the timing of it. Like, can you do it too early? If there was an ideal time, what do you guys think that'd be?
Here's what I'd say about that. And Tyler and I kind of talked about this the last time we had him on as well. But I would almost wait until you kind of had some more like advanced perio, kind of until you start learning more about kind of socket preservation and stuff. Like when I went, I was able to follow along and probably understand about 80 to 90% of what was going on, but there's still some like key concepts that I haven't learned yet. That were just kind of, which is good though, when you go to CE and you kind of learn about that stuff, because now you know what you don't know and you can go and learn about it. But I think you could go right away and take it like now if you wanted to. But Tyler, what do you think?
I agree with what you're saying. Like you can definitely extract more from it. Extract more wisdom, if you will, if you have more background knowledge before you go.
Right.
But it's not the easiest thing in the world. Say you don't live in Scottsdale or Seattle or Chicago, wherever they have some of these sessions, to schedule these things.
It is. Yeah.
Look at your academic calendar, figure out when you can do it and do it, because like
going too early is better than not going.
And like you're still gonna, they send the materials home with you. Like you're still gonna have a pretty decent record of everything you learned And at least like if you just write down what you didn't know and you can refer back to it later when you learn it in school, it's still going to be valuable to you. Like it's just hard to get out there. That was the most difficult thing for me personally, just logistically figuring out how I'm going to fly out to, Scottsdale or whatever for, a few days. So
it's not like they have it every weekend.
Yeah, like get ahead of it and just figure out when it's feasible for you to go, and that's when you should go. Because if you wait until the right time, like I was saying before, like it's going to be too late. So just jump at the first opportunity you get.
Yeah, and Moody is an awesome lecturer too. Like he just tells you how it is. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. And there's so much time like in between, like when you're transitioning from like lecture to hands-on, or while you're working on the hands-on portion, to ask him questions. So like if there was something that you didn't understand or like you wanted to know more about, like he's so accessible. You can just ask him any question, and he's like so engaged with everybody there. So I would definitely recommend Implant Pathway. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, on that note, what are other CE courses that you guys think are really, really good to hit, especially earlier on, D1, D2 year, D3 year?
Anything you can get your hands on. Absolutely anything you can get your hands on.
Jump at opportunities as they come along.
Yeah.
I think just being involved and meeting people in dentistry, like things just come about. And if it's even remotely close to what you want to do, just go do it. There's like particular ones that I think have been, a huge return for me, such as Implant Pathway. That's definitely the major one.
Yeah.
I have done a bit of Breakaway. I went to their advanced startup seminar like right before I started school. Kind of wish I'd saved up for Business Masters just because that kind of fits a little bit better into what I'm trying to do. But yeah, really, even if you go to a CE and the information offered is not that interesting to you, you're getting yourself out there, you're meeting people, you're opening all these doors to have other CE opportunities or networking opportunities, what have you, podcast opportunities. So it's really just important that you be there, in my opinion.
And I think to add on to that, Tyler, that's the opportunity is there, but you still have to capitalize on it. You still have to, just being there. I become that guy that is so comfortable just to sit, like it's so busy. You get into one of those and sometimes it's just nice to be quiet and listen, but what opportunities am I missing when I don't step out of my comfort zone and go out and meet people?
Yeah. And I'm surprised you haven't plugged for it yet, friend, but people need to go to the Life in Dentistry conference.
Man, you know what? I was waiting for you to do it. If I do it,
like I was getting frustrated with you for a second, man. Like I can't believe I said it. It was like $35 last year.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think we're gonna jack the price up because people
do it.
Not for dental students, but so many people. There's that weird numerical value where people think things have lost value when you make them too cheap.
Yeah,
which is weird, but
sure. But
no, I would say it's actually what changed. That's the first one I ever went to, and I almost didn't pay for it, and I paid $30 the first time. And that's what opened my eyes to dental business, and then it was lost cause from there on out for me. But,
that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would say, my only plug will be absolutely, it's the best bang for your buck, $30. And if you don't have a place to stay, I've got enough connections and places that you can, I guarantee to house you somewhere in Lexington for free if you're a dental student.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Come down and come enjoy it.
And that's a really cool meeting too, because it really is focused on dental students. Obviously there's some younger dentists and stuff like that there, but there are so many dental students there. It was so awesome to be able to meet a whole bunch of them and be able to interact with not only dental students from the country, but all of these top dogs that, the Costas and the Maloli and the Scott Luna and,
there's some studs there.
Yeah. Bruce Baird for the Productive Dentist. Yeah.
It's a solid lineup every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. These guys, they do that for free, right, friend?
Which guys? The speakers?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them, it's crazy how much they want to give back. And so, that's kind of one of the biggest caveats to coming. It's like, okay, do you align with what we believe in? Do you align with our vision? And, do we kind of fight for the same cause? So if so,
right,
it aligns a lot of times with, it's the same guys that really want to give back. Maloli travels for free, So does Costas. They don't charge a dime to come speak at the school. And it's crazy how some schools won't allow them to come. They don't sell a single darn thing. They just show life and like what they did. Costas, and again, this isn't a plug for him. He doesn't even know that I'm talking about him. He just gave us almost $2,000 worth of books, for the school. Just like, hey, here,
wow.
He's like, they were there in a week.
What a guy.
This giant box of books showed up. And so, yeah, it's awesome how interested they are to see us graduate a new breed of dental students that are just ready to tackle dentistry and business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say if you're looking to get into kind of the CE world, I think that's a really good first place to start.
Oh yeah, that's your foot in the door for sure.
It is.
There we go.
Okay, so let's move on to the next topic here, and it's kind of just about podcasting. So why do you think podcasts are such a great tool for dental students and dentists? What about them really kind of propels either your future career or your current career?
Man, it's just like lecture. If you're bored, you can turn it up to double speed.
Learn twice as fast.
That's good. That's good.
No, I'd say in our generation, so much is digital. It allows you to be efficient with your time. I bike to school every day, and so I can listen to them then. When you're working out, you can listen to them. There's a wealth of information. And the biggest thing is it's darn free. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's big. I think one thing about them too is a lot of dental students don't ever want to be wrong, right? So in lecture, everyone's guilty of for sure knowing the answer, but still not raising their hand because they're so worried that they don't want to be wrong. But you throw on a podcast, you don't have to worry about that at all. You don't have to participate, but you can still get all the benefits out of the conversation, right? And over time, you'll pick up things here and there and kind of learn to have that conversation in real time. So then when a Maloli comes or one of these guys, you can have the confidence to go up to them and talk to them and not feel like you're gonna totally blow it. And you probably will. We all have, right? But having that background knowledge of listening to a bunch of these guys talk and kind of what they say in the lingo is a huge leg up compared to going into some of those conversations blind.
Yeah,
so true.
Yeah, I think podcasts are the greatest thing that most dental students don't know that they have. If you ask your average dental student, and most, I've probably heard every one of my classmates at some point say they don't teach us business stuff. How am I going to learn this business stuff? How am I going to, get out and learn that and own a practice? Why don't they teach us this? Yada, yada, yada. And it's what if I told you that totally for free, you could have access to just about everything you want or need to know to be successful in whatever you're trying to do. And it's in a very convenient medium. You don't have to take off work. You don't have to take off school. You can do it on your own time. And that thing is already in your pocket,
right.
Yeah.
It already exists. What you want, what you're talking about, what you're complaining about is already there. And you could literally start in 5 seconds after I tell you about it. Podcasts already exist. That information's there. We exist in a very auspicious time. There's a lot of debt. There's saturation in certain places, but we are the most resourceful generation of dentists that have ever existed. And there's way more information out there, and it's way easier to access, and you just have so much more potential than ever. I think it's a great time, and podcasts really signify that.
Right. And I think one thing too, obviously you can learn a lot, but I think sometimes the turnoff for dental students is a lot of these are dentists talking. This doesn't really apply to me yet. I don't have a practice, whatever, but
right.
There are so many things that I have listened to and learned from different episodes that I've filed away that I can remember specific episodes.
Yes.
I think it was Gary Takis one time. I was listening to him talk, and he did his whole local high school football team's custom mouth guards for free. And it was a great act of service, and he gained a ton of patients from it. Just something very simple like that. Just kind of different business or PR activity, strategies. You can learn that. And then as soon as you have a practice, you can immediately apply that and hit the ground running. So there's so many different things you can learn as a dental student. There's things that are immediately applicable to you, and then there's things that will be applicable in the future that you can learn. So
I feel like, Brandon, that even half of those that will be applicable, you can implement now if you get creative.
Oh, for sure.
this guy named John Wesley Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
Great dentist I know out here. He told me it really impacted. It was chance favors a prepared mind. And, half this stuff I found, Grady, example number one, all this leadership stuff Maloli talks about. Have you been able to implement it as president?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the whole reason I ran, dude. I was sick of reading about it, and wanted to put some of this stuff to the test.
Exactly. And I mean, awesome. I started the business organization here. Number one reason was there's all these things these incredible leadership opportunities and stuff we're learning about. Why not start now? Why wait till we get a practice? Let's start doing it now.
Yeah, that's a huge point too for like younger dental students. Circling back, I don't mean to cut you off, friend.
No,
like get involved with your dental school, get involved with ASDA. Don't try to just like isolate yourself and learn it all on your own. And do podcasts, but don't let that prevent you from getting involved with like student orgs in the school itself.
Or create a student org.
Yeah.
Find one. Just get involved and take the bull by the horns.
Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you guys good to do another topic, or you guys want to wrap it up, or how are we doing?
I'm good, man. I don't want to go study.
One more?
Yeah, this is a good excuse, dude.
12 a.m. before.
Okay, well, let's do something. Let's say, I got one. So what has been the either most embarrassing or dumbest thing you've done in dental school so far?
Oh.
It's a layup for me. I prepped the wrong tooth and operated once.
Dude, I was
like a person's tooth or a plastic?
No, my mannequin's tooth, Marv's tooth.
Okay.
Oh, I can one up you. Patient.
All right, what do you got?
No, I prepped the wrong tooth on the patient. Now, that sounds, the ultimate nightmare is pulling the wrong tooth. However, I did check and I did excavate clinical caries, but I had treatment planned 19 and I did 30. So I just, I could not get used to numericals. And so obviously I checked clinical caries, was clearing out and double checked that. But I about peed my pants when I, worked it up with the patient and got them all on board, and then was doing the other side of the mouth. So me and my covering, we did it, but it was real hard. That was an awkward conversation to have with the patient of, so yeah, you definitely needed this filling done, but it wasn't the one I told you I was going to do. So,
but we got ahead on the other one.
Man.
Still making progress.
Oh boy. Yeah. Learn from my mistake, guys.
Yeah.
Construction, we call it measure twice, cut once. Measure that tooth 50 freaking times.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's mine.
I haven't done really anything prepping wise, which is good, but I remember when we had a wax up exam, and it was like we had like a practice exam the day before, and we're kind of split up into like different rows. So there's like maybe 15 of us in the same row, and everybody was asking me what tooth we were waxing. And so I thought I knew the correct tooth. So I'm telling everybody the incorrect tooth the whole time. So by the end, we realized that my entire, like a fourth of the class, because I told everybody, had waxed the completely wrong tooth. Yeah, they trusted me. I felt so bad. Everybody's like, I'm never trusting you again, Brandon. Yeah, so everybody was...
Low-key, Brandon was actually doing the right tooth the whole time. He was just throwing everybody off.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do that. But yeah, so the professors were kind of a little confused, and like half the class or a quarter of the class started bringing up the wrong tooth. But
did they make you redo it, or did they just take that as good?
I redid it. I don't think they really cared like that much, because it was just the contralateral. It's just the opposite one.
Okay.
So it wasn't anything too crazy, but I don't know. It was a strange situation, I guess.
Yeah, your ass grass.
Yeah.
That'll put your ego in check real fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Moral of the story is we all do dumb things in dental school.
Hey, we're all human.
Yeah. That's another thing. Like, so many dental students want to like portray this idea that dental school is easy. Like, oh my gosh, why are you studying for that exam already? It's like a week away. So like, if that's how you operate and if that's what works for you, like, don't let that get in your head. This isn't easy for everybody. Yeah. And a lot of people like to pretend it is.
Yeah. And comparison is so dangerous in dental school, as much as you want to compare yourself to that gunner in your class or compare yourself to, your friend's preps or, composites or whatever, like it's so dangerous. Like do the best you can do and, go from there.
Yeah. Every time I'm tempted to get arrogant about something cool that, I've been blessed with, and really it wasn't even me that got it, or that it was just an opportunity, right? There's so many different ways that I am weak where others are strong. Together is where it really works out. We're all human. We've all got different strengths, just like Grady was saying, just like you were saying. Be vulnerable, be real. That whole fake person that's got it all together is exactly that, fake. It's not where the real friendships are. It's not where the real relationships and trust is built. So, sorry, I'll get off that soapbox, but I mean,
no, you're right.
There's nothing like a genuine friendship, again, that's, I say it because it's one of my big things I really want out of dentistry is a giant family. Let's be in this together. Let's help each other. Let's be there, support, ask questions, bounce each other's ideas off. And yeah, there's no such thing as a dumb question. If you forget something, that's why we're all here, is collectively, we're stronger together than we are apart.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Does anybody else have anything to add really quick?
I forgot to tell an embarrassing story.
Yeah, do tell it, Tyler.
All right, yeah, let's hear it.
So that meme about where you're like telling your parents a story and then you realize that something like really bad happened that's totally inappropriate to tell your parents happened and you have to like stop midway. So I almost told you guys that story. I'm not going to tell it on air. I can tell it to you afterward. The one
I'm excited now.
It's not that bad. It just wouldn't be smart to put on here. The other one is in the same vein as what you guys did. I brought a patient in for SRP. We had one quad to do, and I anesthetized the wrong side. I did side. And the particular faculty that was covering me, I don't blame him for it. I'm not mad. It was my mistake, but he didn't want me to do bilateral blocks. And so I was like, well, I already anesthetized. And he was like, yeah, you did. And I was like, so, I mean, can I just wait a while? And like, nope. And so like I had to reschedule a patient.
Have that conversation.
That drove from 2. Yeah, that was one of the most uncomfortable conversations I've ever had. And she drove in like 2 hours to get there just for me to anesthetize the wrong side. So yeah, she hasn't been calling me back. I don't blame her.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up here, and we'll listen to Tyler's other story. But I do want to thank Grady, Tyler, and friend. Thank you so much for being on the 40th episode and sharing all your ideas and thoughts on different things. And I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us. It's great to catch up. Whatever excuse we gotta have to keep in touch.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks for having us, man. And congrats on 40 episodes. That's big.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So
but it's been a lot of hard work too.
Absolutely.
Way to go.
Absolutely. Awesome. It's all worth it though. All worth it.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully, I'll definitely have you guys on again. Whether that's before or after Voices of Dentistry or during Voices of Dentistry.
There we go.
Thank you. Yeah, I like the illusion.
Thank you.
Well, best of luck on that farm test there and path.
Thank you. Yeah, same with you. Good luck. Good luck. So, all right, guys. Thanks so much. Take care.
Yeah, man.
See ya.